The crypto market's been pretty chaotic lately. We saw Bitcoin push to its all-time high 8 months ago, and when everyone got too excited, October 10th happened, and since then it's been pretty much down only. Well, if you've been waiting for a better entry before the next move up, that window might be closer than it looks, and we have to be ready for it. But here's the part that most people miss. It's not just about what you buy and the timing, it also matters how you do it. Right now, most people are still doing that part wrong, and in this video, we'll explore how to make it right. Before we continue, I would like to remind you to hit the subscribe button to support the channel if you haven't done so yet. This is not financial advice, always do your own research. If you're like most people watching this, you're probably using a regular exchange to buy your crypto. Coinbase, Binance, MXC, I've used all of these. And look, they get the job done for a small trade. But the moment you start trading proper capital, you start running into the same problems every single time. You're completely on your own. You have no one to call and no one to guide you. You're just clicking buttons here and there and hoping that the numbers will just go up by themselves. And that's by design. Exchanges were built for self-serve retail trading, which is fine when you're just getting started. But if you're actually serious about building a portfolio, tracking projects, allocating real money, you've kind of outgrown what exchanges can offer you. Most people just don't realize there's a better option sitting right there. And if you stick with me to the end, you will know all about it. So recently, I've been spending time on a platform called UpTrade. And it's a completely different experience from anything else I've used. UpTrade is a crypto brokerage, not an exchange, a brokerage. And that difference matters a lot more than people think. It's not just linguistic. Here's how it works. Instead of doing everything alone, you're paired with a dedicated broker. And it's a real person, not just some AI chatbot. It is someone you can actually talk to and someone who understands the market and what you're trying to do, of course. You've got direct contact with them. You can discuss ideas, timing, positioning, and they help you execute properly. If you've ever heard of high net worth investors work with firms like JP Morgan, where you get a dedicated advisor managing alongside you, it's that kind of model, but applied to crypto. And honestly, that's something this space has been missing so badly. Sure, UpTrade is not without its flaws, but I wouldn't say any platform, or any human being for that matter, is flawless. It's just that there are things that, on aggregate, work better than others. And from my experience, this platform, UpTrade, is one such case. So let's talk about what that actually means day to day, because there are a few things here that really stand out. The first is having a real broker by your side. You can manage your own trades wherever you want, but if you're busy, traveling, or just don't have time to watch the market, you can literally message your broker and they'll handle it 24/7 whenever you need them. You know that crypto doesn't sleep, and neither do the folks at UpTrade. That's something no exchange on the planet can offer you. I mean, technically, they probably could, but certainly don't offer it. And so, your portfolio keeps moving even when you're not at your desk and you can't pay complete attention to it. And just like that, it can cost you thousands of dollars. The second point, and it ties in well with the first, is the research backing. Every broker on the platform is supported by an in-house analyst team putting in over 200 hours a week. So the guidance you're getting isn't just one person's opinion, but there's a whole team of analysts working behind the scenes, making sure that your broker actually knows what they're talking about. The third thing is security. If you're on UpTrade, your custody is handled through Fireblocks, which is the same infrastructure institutional investors use. They're a registered digital currency exchange provider with over $1 billion in assets under management. Your money isn't sitting in one of the thousands of sketchy exchanges trying to lure you in with a $5 bonus on every 10K you've traded in messaging that comes right out of Chinese to English Google Translator. Well, UpTrade is actually held to a different standard, guys. That of the big players. And fourth, and probably the most underrated part, the peace of mind. Crypto is stressful, we have to admit it. Prices move fast, information is everywhere, and it's easy to make emotional decisions. Having a dedicated professional who knows your portfolio and gives you a more grounded perspective can change everything about your trading experience and results, of course. You stop reacting to every move and start thinking more long term. And to top it all off, UpTrade have got over 511 assets for you to choose from, over 10,000 investors out on the platform, and as I said, over $8 billion in assets under management. This comes to show that even if UpTrade is not all over the media, it certainly is not a small operation. The platform itself is actually very straightforward. When you log in, you've got your top assets by volume and market cap, gainers and losers. Most likely this looks familiar to you. You can search any asset, pull up the chart and set up your trade. That's 24/7, whenever you're ready to enter the market or take profits, of course. Now, here's the beautiful thing about UpTrade. Under your account, you've got a section called My Broker, which is your direct contact. Everything you need to reach them in one place. So, if you're overwhelmed with stuff at work or at home, perhaps traveling, or you've got anything really that presents an obstacle for you to be mindful when deciding on your next trade, just message your broker. Message them for any help in that regard, or even to get the trade done for you. Understand this, guys. In the age of AI and chatbots and generic stock answers, you've got a real person to talk about your finances. Again, not a ticketing system where you get a response 3 days later after the market's completely changed. A real person readily available to listen to you and give you their professional support now, today. It's intentionally simple, it seems to me. The real value isn't in the complexity, but in the support behind it. That's where UpTrade puts its energy. Now, obviously, the big question is trust. And I admit I had my doubts about it at first too. But I did some research and it turns out UpTrade is a registered digital currency exchange provider, and again, custody runs through Fireblocks, which is widely used at the institutional level. So on that front, you have nothing to worry about. On top of that, their research platform, UpTrade Alpha, recently won Best Crypto Research Platform at Paris Blockchain Week 2026. So when they say their brokers are backed by serious analyst work, that's not a marketing line. There's official recognition behind it. And if you have any doubts yourself, I would understand. But just go on and ask Claude or ChatGPT, or God forbid, Google, about it all. The license, the Fireblocks, and the institutions, UpTrade Alpha, and their Paris Blockchain Week award. You'll see it's there. This seems to be a properly built platform, not just another copy-paste exchange where the deposit button is huge and brightly lit, but the moment you try to withdraw your money, you gotta go through something approximating the Cretan labyrinth, as if you're not a human being, but the mythical Minotaur. You know these kinds of platforms. You just know what I'm talking about. So, if you're positioning for what's coming and you want to do it with an actual broker in your corner rather than a retail exchange, then UpTrade is the move. It's free to create an account, and through my link in the description, my community gets 30% off brokerage fees for life. Not just on your first trade, for life. So, if you're going to be making moves in this market anyway, that's a no-brainer. That's 30% off. Promo link is in the description, so you can book a session there, test it out, and see how UpTrade fits your personal strategy. At worst, you will have spent 15 minutes of your life finding out that this one's not for you. At best, however, UpTrade and their professionals change your trading experience to the point where you wonder, why haven't I joined earlier? If this video gave you an interesting insight into the alternative of traditional crypto exchanges, then support it with a like. Also, I invite you to subscribe to the airdrops.com channel as well, where I'll keep bringing you thoughtful crypto breakdowns and such hidden gems. I'm Stan, and I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao.